When Majin Buu was first introduced, he came off as a very threatening villain, but it was quickly dismissed as we saw that he just wanted to have some fun. That being said, the one to follow him, Super Buu, was all the more threatening. Super Buu alone had more power than Majin Buu, but with more intelligence to back it up. However, in this version of the story, he's got a lot more going against him. Before I continue with this story, if you're new to this channel, stop. Part 1 is directly above my head. Go ahead and go watch it and catch up, and I'll see you when you get back. And if you like my videos, please leave a subscription, like the video, and share it with your friends. Let's build this community together. In our last part, we saw Majin Buu finally freed, with Vegeta getting a little hasty and exuding way too much power for his own good. Golden Cooler was put on the back foot, however, not soundly defeated, and decided to make his escape. Piccolo and Gohan went in hot pursuit, while Goku, Vegeta, and Raditz transported directly to Super Buu. Super Buu having just been born after Majin Buu became angry, seeing Hercule wounded. All of this was following an epic battle in which Nappa was sadly defeated by Majin Buu while still being under control of Babidi. But, speaking of Babidi, the little potato got turned on by Buu shortly thereafter by the direction of Hercule, his new friend. All the while, Krillin was heading back to the lookout where he hoped that his wife and others were at. But will anyone else even be necessary with 3 powerful Saiyans against Super Buu? Let's find out. The 3 Saiyans stood there staring at this menacing foe. Destruction all around them as they saw the horrors that were brought by this new foe. Super Buu just stared back though, grinning from what I could only call an ear to ear. Are those ears? They must be. That's beside the point. All people wish to have fun with Super Buu? Super Buu shall have fun with you. We're not here to play games with ugly freaks like you. We're here to put you down. Buu locked eyes with Vegeta angrily. Buu no freak! You freak! Buu kill you now! The 3 Saiyans were in Super Saiyan 2, but when Buu began to charge at them, Goku and Raditz both powered up to Super Saiyan 3. There was no longer a need to withhold their power, so it was time to go all out. Shin watched in awe. He was amazed at this. They were clearly holding back before, and now that they've got all this power backing them, what are the odds that they could possibly lose? Back in the desert, Piccolo and Gohan were becoming frustrated. It seemed as though Cooler had finally learned techniques that let him suppress his power, and it was making it difficult for him to be tracked. This was coupled by the fact that Kibito kept nagging them about more urgent matters. He didn't see the threat that Golden Cooler could be. His mind was 100% on Buu and the threat that could come from that. But Piccolo and Gohan weren't hearing it right now. They needed to find Cooler. Over at the lookout, Krillin finally arrived, and much to his joy, he saw his wife right there with their child. And there were several others as well, including none other than Recoome, who was slowly coming back to consciousness and missing the M that used to be on his forehead. Guys? Why did you bring him here? I really feel like you should know the location of the lookout. Calm down, sweetie. We were gonna leave him there, but the kids really took a liking to him. They were pretty adamant about him coming, and I just can't say no to them. When Recoome regained consciousness, he was pretty sad about everything that he had done. He had full memory of his actions, and he was regretful. Recoome is sorry for his actions. Recoome does not know what came over him. Recoome was saddened by the loss of his comrades, and spending years alone on the planet Earth. So, Recoome sadly gave in to the temptation of the little potato man, and the promises that he had given Recoome. That's great and all, but where is my dad? Lashed out Videl, angrily wondering where her father had gone. Last they had known, Hercule was right on Nappa's back, and they were just behind them. However, they never made it back to the lookout. Krillin felt around for power signatures, but Hercule was too weak to spot himself, and Nappa, well, he couldn't be sensed anywhere. Back in the city, a terrified Hercule was running for his life, trying to avoid every single blow that was coming his way. As Super Buu was coming in exchanges with the 3 powerful Saiyans, havoc was being wreaked everywhere. Goku, however, eventually noticed that Hercule was there, terrified for his life, and he quickly made his way over and instant transmissioned him to the lookout to safety. Before he could leave, though, everyone was bombarding him with questions. He felt the power signatures over at the battle and realized that Raditz and Vegeta together were doing very well against Super Buu. In fact, it seemed as though they had a bit of an upper hand, so he decided to answer some questions and remain for a little bit. Back at the battlefield, Super Buu is becoming incredibly frustrated. Remember, in this version of the story, Vegeta and Raditz made a heck of a tag team, and they were showing off their skills in full swing. Seriously, they weren't even missing a beat. Super Buu was getting ragdolled around while Shin was cheering on the sidelines. Bits and pieces of him were getting smacked off of him left and right. Super Buu was becoming more and more angry as the battle progressed, and he realized that he was not getting the upper hand whatsoever. But eventually, a grin showed up on his face. Shin was confused, as was Vegeta and Raditz. But then, something shocking happened. A pink blob clung directly to Vegeta's leg. In a panic, Raditz moved to attempt to stop it from happening, but through the distraction, he didn't realize Super Buu was right on him. He got kicked directly into the ground, and Vegeta was promptly absorbed by Buu. Shin stood there in horror. Of course this was going to happen. He knew it would. He had watched it himself in the past. And yet, he fell for it anyway. Cursing under his breath, he kai-kai'd directly to Raditz and took him directly to the lookout after that. All around the world, they felt the power grow. From the lookout to the desert, all of the Dragon team felt this power surge as Vegeta was absorbed directly into Buu. In the desert, Kibito scolded Piccolo and Gohan, and they had no words to rebuttal. He was right. They had underestimated this threat. Now what were they to do? He had an idea. He mentioned to them training that could be done in the world of the Kais, and both of them agreed to it. Gohan and Piccolo were whisked away. Over at the lookout, Shin was pacing back and forth frantically. He had no idea what to do. Goku didn't seem worried, however. Sure, he was sad about what had just happened to Vegeta, and learning of the fate of, apparently, Nappa as well. But he knew that they had an ace up their sleeve. Fusion, of course. During the time that he had been alive ever since a couple years after the Cell games, he had taught Raditz the fusion dance. The two of them together had gotten pretty good at it. But the kids interjected. They wanted to know what the heck this fusion dance was, and why it was kept from them. So Goku, being as casual as he is, agreed to teach it to them. They didn't have the time, though. Shin rebuked them again, but he shut him down, promptly letting him know that the time chamber is always an option. Although only 2 people were supposed to go into it, if they're only in it for a little bit, it's not going to be that bad. So Goku decides to take the 3 kids into the time chamber with him. However, Kini elects to stay behind, sticking with her father just in case Buu does happen to show up. The 2 of them together could be a bit of a duo, and hold him off for as long as they need to. She didn't really have an understanding of just how much time was going to pass in the time chamber, but she was pretty firm in it. So Goku took Goten and Trunks into the time chamber with him to teach them the fusion dance. But will it be in time? We'll have to find out next time, because this is where we're going to be leaving things for now. I feel like this is a shorter episode. I have a mission trip coming up pretty soon, and so I'm trying to crank out things as quickly as I possibly can. I'm attempting to record next week's episode, that way at least one will come out, and in addition to that, I want to either start a new series or do a part 3 of the 2 ongoing ones that I seemingly abandoned a long time ago. Trust me, I've not abandoned them. I do like them quite a bit, and I want to continue them. In fact, check out part 1 of this one, where Trunks and Goten time traveled, if you are interested in a little bit of Gotenks action. And I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.